Just days before a critical peace meeting in the United States, the sky over Ukraine turned hostile. Missiles and drones cut through the darkness, striking cities, power systems, and civilian areas. The timing was impossible to ignore. As President Volodymyr Zelensky prepared to sit across from Donald Trump to discuss the future of the war, Russia sent a message, not through diplomats, but through fire from the sky. This was not just another attack, it was pressure, and the world was watching. It was a freezing December night across Ukraine. Most cities were quiet, streets nearly empty, when air raid sirens suddenly shattered the silence. The first sound came from drones, low, persistent, unsettling. Minutes later, cruise missiles followed, moving faster, striking harder. Kyiv, Kharkiv, Dnipro, and other regions activated air defense systems almost immediately. Interceptor missiles lit up the sky as explosions echoed above residential neighborhoods. Many incoming targets were destroyed mid-air, but not all. Several missiles broke through. Apartment buildings were damaged. Power stations and heating facilities were struck. In winter conditions, electricity and heat are not luxuries, they are survival systems. When power failed, entire neighborhoods were left in darkness and cold. Emergency crews rushed to the scenes. Firefighters searched through debris. Medical teams treated the injured under harsh conditions. Families spent hours in underground shelters, unsure whether the next explosion would be closer. This was not a small or accidental strike. The scale suggested coordination, intent, and planning. Beyond physical destruction, the attack carried psychological weight. It reinforced fear, exhaustion, and uncertainty, not only among civilians but within Ukraine's leadership. These nights do more than damage buildings. They narrow the space for diplomacy and push societies deeper into survival mode. This approach fits a familiar pattern in Russian military and diplomatic history. Escalation before negotiations increases leverage. Battlefield realities define the tone of talks. Missiles are not only weapons, they are statements. Through this strike, Russia sent multiple messages. To Ukraine, it demonstrated continued capacity to disrupt civilian life. To the West, it showed that Moscow still controls escalation tempo. The underlying strategy is straightforward. Apply pressure, reduce optimism, and force negotiations to acknowledge current realities rather than future hopes. This method is controversial but historically effective. It transforms diplomacy into damage control. Each proposal becomes tied to a single question: what happens if talks fail? Russia also reinforced another point, that Western political calendars do not dictate military decisions. Elections, summits, and meetings will not pause the conflict. This was a clear example of hard power being used to limit the space for soft power. For Ukraine, the attack was not just another incident. It was a reminder that civilians remain on the front line. Emergency repairs began immediately, but damage extended beyond infrastructure. Repeated strikes wear down morale, strain resources, and deepen fatigue across society. Ukrainian leadership renewed calls for advanced air defense systems, Patriot batteries, interceptors, radar expansion. The nature of the war continues to shift upward into the air. Western governments publicly condemned the attack and reaffirmed support. Behind closed doors, discussions were more complex. There is a growing dilemma: how to strengthen Ukraine's defenses while preventing uncontrollable escalation. At the same time, there's debate over whether peace talks should continue under active bombardment. Public opinion in allied countries is increasingly divided. Some argue the attack proves negotiations are pointless. Others believe it shows why dialogue is more urgent than ever. Western policymakers now face a difficult balance between moral responsibility and strategic caution. After this attack, the environment surrounding diplomacy changed completely. Any upcoming meeting is no longer about future possibilities alone. It is framed by immediate destruction. Every proposal is judged against what just happened, not what might happen. The potential Zelensky-Trump meeting is now more than a political event. It has become a test of whether diplomacy can survive during escalation. History shows that negotiations conducted amid active violence are fragile. Trust erodes quickly. Every pause is interpreted. Every word is scrutinized. Russia's strikes ensured that any peace discussion would begin under pressure, and peace negotiated under pressure often lacks durability. One reality now stands clear. This war is no longer only about territory. It is a battle over timing, perception, leverage, and narrative, fought not just on land, but in the air and at the negotiating table.
As dawn broke over Ukraine, the damage was still being counted. Homes without power, cities on edge, diplomacy under strain. The meeting between Zelensky and Trump may still happen. Plans may still be discussed. But Russia's message has already landed. This war is not paused for talks, and any path toward peace will have to confront that reality, not in conference rooms, but under the sound of sirens and falling debris.